So even though Queen Elizabeth's line was the eldest on her father's side, she was one of the youngest on her mother's side. As a result, we're going to see a huge age gap from her to her oldest Bowes-Lyon cousins. Some of her cousins we do hear about in the news, like Narissa and Katherine, who were hidden away, and I'll point them out as we go through this. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Here on Mortal Faces, I untangle family trees and recreate how historic individuals might have looked in real life. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more recreations and trees, and let me know in the comments who you'd like to see in real life. There's only two first cousins that are still alive from the Bowes-Lyon clan. The Honorable Michael Bowes-Lyon, born in 1940, and he would be 82 as of 2022, and Sir Simon, born in 1932, he is 90. So you have the Honorable Michael, then Sir Simon, then his older sister Davina, Countess of Stair, and then Princess Margaret and Elizabeth. So Queen Elizabeth was the fifth youngest out of 25 Bowes-Lyon first cousins, including her and her sister. And the reason her family is so big is because her mother was one of 10 children from the 14th Earl and Countess of Strathmore. So Elizabeth II was born in 1926. Her eldest cousin was born in 1911, and that's before Titanic, and then her youngest Bowes-Lyon cousin is in 1940. But her youngest total cousin is on her paternal side, the Duke of Gloucester, born in 1944, and that's a 33-year difference in range from her oldest to her youngest cousin. If you haven't already, you can check out Elizabeth's royal cousins on her father's sides and their families in my previous video. We'll start at the top with Claude and Cecilia, the 14th Earl and Countess of Strathmore and Kinghorne. They had 10 kids, but none of them lived wildly long except for the Queen Mother, the second youngest child at 101. Then her previous sister, Lady Rhodes, dies at 77, and everyone else dies even younger. The Queen Mother's eldest sibling, the Honorable Violet, died from diphtheria at the age of 11. She was never styled Lady because her father wasn't an Earl yet when she was alive. Then you have the second sibling, Lady Mary, and she had 5 kids. The eldest is the Honorable Mary, who was Elizabeth's oldest cousin, born in 1911, and then the last 3 siblings have kids of their own. The last one from that line died in 2016, the Honorable Margaret Rhodes at 91. Margaret Rhodes was actually quite close to the Queen, only a year older than her, and she once described how she and the then Princess Elizabeth would play at being horses when they were children. "We were circus horses," she said, or riding ponies or anything you like, but it involved a lot of neighing and cantering and galloping. The Queen didn't go to every funeral, but she did go to hers. Margaret has 4 kids, and the third child, Simon, his wife Susan, was part of the Queen's inner circle during COVID. Let me take a moment to explain these colors for you. The purple are all first cousins. They are the Queen's mom's siblings' kids. The red are their kids in the same generation as her son, King Charles. The red are all second cousins. They share the same great-grandparent. And then the green are all their kids, and in the same generation as Prince William and Harry. The green are all third cousins with one another. They share the same great-great-grandparent. The next sibling of the Queen Mother is Patrick, who inherited his father's titles. He had 4 children. His eldest son was the first of the Queen's cousins to pass away in 1941, aged 31. He was killed in action. And then his youngest is the only child with surviving heirs in this branch under the name Burra Robinson. The fourth sibling was Lieutenant Honorable John, and this is where it gets interesting because he has 5 kids. Patricia died young. Anne had Thomas and Lady Elizabeth Anson. Thomas became a professional photographer, taking pictures of Prince Charles and Lady Diana's wedding and the Golden Jubilee in 2002. His sister, Lady Elizabeth, died in 2020 and was also close to the royal family. She became a famous party planner, planning numerous parties for the Queen's family and other royals, including Elizabeth's 80th and 90th birthdays. Then we have the third and fifth children, Narissa and Katherine Bowes-Lyon. They attracted much attention when it was discovered that they'd been tucked away from the family due to their disabilities. Their mother came from the Trefusis family, where 3 of her sister's kids also lived at the mental institution. Trefusis seems to have had a genetic disorder that these children inherited. The controversy, which some members have openly disputed, is that the royals ignored them until their death. You can find a documentary on them called The Queen's Hidden Cousins, made in 2011. The last child, Diana, her daughter Catherine, is a goddaughter of Queen Elizabeth II. The next sibling is the Honorable Alexander. He died from a tumor in his sleep, aged 24, And then you have his younger brother, the Honorable Fergus. He died in World War I, aged 26, and the Queen named one of her corgis after him. Ironically, the dog died just weeks after she received him in 2021 after the passing of Prince Philip. His daughter was Rosemary Bowes-Lyon. She had 2 kids, David, a stockbroker, and Elizabeth. Fergus's next sister was Lady Rose Constance, who had Lady Mary and Granville James V, Earl Granville. Lady Mary died in 2014, aged 96, perpetuating the longevity of the Bowes-Lyon women, just as the Queen Mother. She too recalled the Queen liked to imagine herself as a pony or a horse. When she was doing that and someone called her and she didn't answer right away, she would then say, "I couldn't answer you as a pony." The Queen also went to her funeral. The Honorable Michael Claude is the older brother of the Queen Mother. He had 4 kids, Fergus, who inherited the Bowes-Lyon earldom after his first cousin Timothy died without issue. His son was the 18th Earl, and his grandson is the current 19th Earl of Strathmore and Kinghorne. We might see him at the coronation next year. His sister, Lady Elizabeth Leeming, became a lady-in-waiting to the Queen back in 2017, along with Susan Rhodes, Simon Rhodes' wife. Then you have Lady Mary, who was in the 70s a lady-in-waiting to the Queen's paternal cousin, Princess Alexandra. Her daughter was lady-in-waiting to the Duchess of Kent, and then became the first female Lord Lieutenant of Wiltshire, a position that arranges the visits of the royal family and acts as the King's representative at events. Lady Mary's twin sister is Lady Patricia, and then their youngest brother is the Honorable Michael Bowes-Lyon, the youngest first cousin of the Queen, born in 1940. Following this, you have Lady Elizabeth Bowes-Lyon, who became the Queen Mother, and she had Elizabeth and Margaret, where I explained their families in the paternal video. And then finally, you have the last sibling, the Honorable Sir David. He had Davina, Countess of Stair, and Sir Simon. Davina's husband was Lord Lieutenant of Wigtonshire, and she acted as Lord Vice Lieutenant. She was a close confidant of both her aunt, the Queen Mother, and her cousin, Queen Elizabeth. She died in 2017, aged 87, and then her younger brother and second last surviving Bowes-Lyon cousin is Sir Simon. He was the Lord Lieutenant of Hertfordshire and knighted by the Queen, and that's her family. I hope you enjoyed this video. You can check out her paternal side where we go through her surviving cousins there and their kids. We see a lot more of them than the Bowes-Lyon family in the news. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more recreations and family trees. Each of your subscriptions does help this channel grow and allows me to continue making more videos for you. Let me know in the comments who you'd like to see next, and I will see you in the next one.